Hey guys, this is Spanky Hayes, and I want to say something, whether it's comedy, acting, or just in general real life. I use my A game. I gotta have the A game. I pack it in every pocket. I got one pill in every pocket, and every pair of pants I got. Listen, entertaining y'all is hard sometimes. I gotta fly to Dallas, then to Denver, then to New York, then to LA, then to Detroit. Come on, man. That tires me out. I just take the A game now. I don't have that problem no more. I usually barely don't sleep because I'm entertaining y'all. I'm in the studio all night with the A game. And trust me, when I come home from the studio, my woman gets to feel the real pleasure of the A game. You see, I'm smiling. Watch this. Hey, baby.
Hey, babe.
Guess what I just took?
What?
A game, A game, A game, A game. I'm gonna meet you upstairs, all right?
Oh, okay.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey, good Monday afternoon. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. I do apologize. I apologize. I'm late about 5 good minutes. I didn't start this stream till about 5 good minutes ago. So I do apologize for that. I try not to ever be late. But sometimes Monday is Monday. So we're going to try to go ahead and get into it without too much of a delay. Okay, so what we talking about today? Why black women do the right things for the wrong men. Right stuff, wrong guy. And then they get bitter. And then they get mad about it. And then they don't want to do right anymore by any other guy. They make up all of these different standards and boundaries and rules and what they not going to do and how they not going to do something. And it turns in from what I want to do in a relationship or for a man in a relationship to what he better not do, what I'm not going to do. Thank you so much, Philip. Oh, thank you. Say with your fly self, thank you, sweetie. And what you not going to do for a man and all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to have this conversation today, sisterin', because it's important to kind of point this stuff out, because your mother and your aunties and your cousins and your play cousin, they not going to tell you this stuff. Okay? They're going to root you on in it without paying any mind to the damage that's going to have on all of your relationships unless and until you learn better through trial and error and hardship. Wasting years in relationships because you don't understand what you should be looking for, what you shouldn't be looking for, what you should be doing, what he should be doing. You don't know none of this stuff. Seeing too many times we're getting into things in this society and we don't pay attention. We not paying attention. We just out here. We out here free. like, I don't want to rant right away, get into a rant, but I kind of feel a rant coming on. Because this little sexual liberation, free society, you can do what you want to do, that has not helped nobody. I'm sorry. It ain't helped nobody. It gave us the illusion of freedom. It fulfilled the fantasy that children have about what being an adult is, where you don't answer to nobody and you do what you want to do and there aren't any consequences. That is not how adulthood works. Adults have the most accountability. Adults have the most responsibility. It's children that ain't got nothing to do but do what they parents say, go to school, get some good grades, and be a kid. Right? And I'm talking about in an ideal situation. But this society said, oh, go ahead, just do what you want to do. And then we get into these situations where we're dating each other. Don't nobody know nothing about courting. We're dating, quote unquote, which means, especially for women, it's okay to come out from the cover of your father and from the cover of the men in the family, from choosing your husband or helping you to choose your husband. That's, you know what? I can't get into that rant. That's going to give me a headache. Let me get to what I wrote down. Okay. So one of the first things that women do that's the right thing for the wrong man, trying to be submissive and trying to be feminine. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with trying to be submissive and trying to be feminine in a relationship. The problem come along and it's layered. The first issue is Black women in general have a severe misunderstanding about what femininity even is. A severe misunderstanding. Thank you, Terenzo. So the title alone throws everything 304s think right out the window along with themselves, the F-boys they create. You don't even know what submission entails. So you go into these relationships not asking no questions. You go into these relationships thinking that being feminine and being submissive means that you don't have nothing to say, that you don't have an original thought in your head, and that you are not allowed to express those thoughts in any way, shape, or form unless you, quote unquote, end up not being feminine and, quote unquote, run this guy way. Now, the issue with all of that, like I said, no problem trying to be submissive and feminine because you're supposed to be submissive and feminine. But you're not even looking at the fact that a lot of y'all not even in relationships to begin with. Not in a relationship. There have been no proper conversations to go on to even say we're in anything. Y'all are getting into these situationships with neither a mission stated nor one implied. Do y'all understand what I'm talking about? So here's what I'm saying. Lady A meets guy A. They start talking. They hit it off. The energy is there. The chemistry is there. They're getting along, things of that nature. And without any kind of clarifying conversation at all, they just sort of move into this weird kind of relationship with no boundaries and no definition. And ladies, y'all willingly go into this stuff. No mission stated nor implied. This man ain't said nothing to you about what he want to do, what he trying to do, and whether or not you're the woman that he want to do any of this stuff with. And you, under the misunderstanding of what being feminine and submissive is, you open your mouth. Because you don't know how to communicate with the man in any way other than accusatory or combative. So you don't even know how to approach conversations in such a way where it's not a fight. It's not an argument. We're not arguing. We are simply having necessary conversations in order to move forward with whether or not we're in a relationship. Because remember, men dictate whether or not you're in a relationship. Women don't dictate this. Women do not have the jurisdiction to dictate whether or not we're in relationships with these men. That's their call. And just because he hitting it on a regular basis, that doesn't create the relationship. Because nobody expressed any intent anywhere, one way or the other. Are we understanding? Can I get 300 likes? I got 306 people. I got 192 likes. Come on. Bam, 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 bam. You got to hit the like button. Bam, bam. You got to, right? What I'm trying to say is you're getting into these situations with F-19s. Because men that have intent, men that have motive, men that are having their stuff together, he moving in a particular direction, that's what he gonna talk about first. Please correct me if I'm wrong. The guys in the chat, please. If I'm in error in any of this, please say so. That's what he's gonna talk about. He's gonna talk about his intentions with life. With life. This is what he's gonna do. Listen, I want to open a business, or I'm already in the midst of that, or I've already completed these steps in order to XYZ, because this is what I want. By the time I'm 37, I want to have this. Or by the time I'm 35, I want to have this. You know, or I'm 32, I already own a house. So I'm trying to get, like, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Men who have plans have them. They have the plans. And they don't mind telling you the plan. And when men give you plans and they start talking French with you, talking about they plan, and then they say we, he's trying to envision you with him as he does these things. Now that doesn't mean no conversation. And when I say conversation, ladies, I'm not talking about arguing. I'm talking about an actual conversation. Because men that don't have no plan for you, he don't talk to you about that. Am I right or wrong? Men that he may have a plan, but it ain't for you. He is not having that conversation with you. So when you are getting into these entanglements with men that never have conversations with you about anything that's not concerning Hello Kitty, that's a flag, sis. And I'm going to get deeper into it because I'm not even really dealing with the men, right? Because I'm not even really talking about men. I'm really talking about F-19s, right? The ones with the fake paint job. Okay, that's who I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about the real brothers out here doing real things. I'm not talking about that. F-19s is a completely different individual. Completely different individual. Are we clear on that part? Now, like I said, we got the wrong idea about what being submissive is. Let me go into clarifying submissiveness. This might have been a different video or a separate video. I'm not sure. I may still make it a separate video. I'm not sure. But it does need to be said. What is submission? Because too many black women think that a submissive woman is just this idiot that don't got no mouth and don't have a brain in her head. Submissive women are some of the most intelligent women that I've ever met. It's the ones that don't want to submit that I find their intelligence to be lacking. Their logic is also lacking. And I'm not even being funny. I'm just saying that's what I found. Okay? Submissive women are typically rather intelligent. And we have the skill set to communicate effectively, properly, and be in a feminine energy when doing so. Feminine women have boundaries. They have boundaries. We have boundaries. And the reason why I'm saying we have boundaries is because we understand how to have healthy relationships with people. And healthy relationships call for boundaries, healthy boundaries to be established in the beginning. I accept your boundaries, you accept my boundaries. We teach people how to treat us. So if a feminine woman gets approached by F-19 and he got some slick, stupid stuff to say, see how we deal with that is we don't feed that energy. We don't feed that energy. Why would I feed that energy? To give you a little green light and make you feel like it's okay for you to come over here with that F-19 energy. Don't taxi that little raggedy plane over here. I don't want no ride. Thank you, no thank you. Okay? We have effective communication skills, which is why we don't have to argue and make a scene every time we want to say something. A submissive woman does have input in her marriage because her input is valued by her husband. And it's valued by her husband for two reasons. She's intelligent and he recognizes that. And number two, she's feminine so that when she come to him with any concern or they have a conversation and they begin to communicate, he understands that he doesn't have to fight with her about this communication. He don't have to stop talking about the issue to address her tone. He doesn't have to not talk about the issue to address this little crazy language and her talking crazy out the side of her neck. Why? Because the boundaries of the relationship have already been set. So we don't need to go over that. We don't need to talk about that right now. Because every time we communicate, I'm not going to stop to address your tone. Because if I got to stop to address your tone all the time, we got a bigger issue that I need to talk about. Because who you talking like that to? Who you talking to? See, feminine women don't always have to get G-checked like that. Because we understand who we talking to. If I want to say something to my husband, I know how to say that thing without accusing him of anything. And taking this little tone. And ladies, we know what tone we're talking about. The you better do what I say type situation. No. But feminine women are not these mutes that don't say anything. In actuality, the reality of it is the men that they're with want their input. They want it. They ask for it. Because she know how to give the input. She know how to give it. She knows how to communicate. She understands how to speak. Her body language and her verbal language. Her nonverbal communication is just as important, if not more so, than her verbal communication. So feminine women, as we talk, we are, or as he speaks to us, we're not sitting here. We're not doing all of that. Thank you, 39 Dina. We're not doing all of that either. All of that loud inhaling and exhaling. What, you got a breathing problem? You need an asthma pump? What's going on with you? Because that's a lot of breathing. All we doing is having a conversation. There's a lot of heavy breathing. What, you ran 10 miles before we had it? What's going on? So that's one thing, the communication skills. I just have to clarify some things with the submission piece. Because we're not stupid. Being a submissive woman, a feminine woman, is not synonymous with stupidity. It's actually synonymous with intelligence, and it shows that we respect the authoritative position that our husbands have. We respect the position. We respect what's going on with the position. So therefore, we have respect for the man that hold the position, which is our husbands. Thank you, Ruminant. I just need people to understand that I got 407 people, but I only got 295 likes. Can we get 350? Give me 350. Please? Because we're going to go on a break in a minute. And I have not even gotten halfway down. This might be a two-parter. So we're going to finish the feminine piece. And then after the half, we're going to dive into some other things. Because I got several points here. This going to be a two-parter, yeah. But I need to speak extensively on the communication. Because it's the lack of communication, which is why you find yourself in the situation that you're in. Thank you, LD. You find yourself in a situation where you are because of lack of communication. Either the communication is bad and chaotic and tumultuous, or it's not happening. It's one or the other. And this is how you get 4 years in, but you don't know what's going on in this situationship. It's still a situationship. This man still don't really claim you in front of nobody. It's you done had a kid now and y'all ain't really living together, but y'all kind of together. But see, this is how y'all end up in these situations, and then you want to get mad and blame it all on the man for how you got here. But what you don't understand is your vetting process was bad, along with your communication, along with your concept of what a relationship even looked like. Because too many of us do not even have a good example of what a healthy working romantic relationship even looks like. And then you jump out into these things without healing anything, without figuring nothing out about yourself. You just jumping into the bed with people, getting pregnant, getting into these entanglements, but then you don't understand any of the repercussions or any of the consequences that come behind it, and then you call yourself get hurt after that. Now it's all the men's fault, where they hurt you, where they did you this way and they did you that way. So what I'm going to do, thank you again, Philip J. What I'm going to do is we're going to take this real quick break, and then we'll be right back.
See, wherever I go, stay ready, stay alert. I'm always prepared for whatever. I see you. There's a seat right here. You can see from all angles. I'm ready. It's time to get down to business. Game time.
Hi, honey. I know you just made it to the library, but love of my life, my hero, my lion, you forgot your A game. So come home, take it, and then you can go and conquer the world, black man. Oh, and one more thing. Would it kill you to just wear some socks? I'm just saying. Love you. And can you bring home some milk?
Oh, man. She's killing me. Okay, I'll go back. I'm gonna get my A game. I'm not putting them socks on. I'm good. I'm fly. I'm fresh. I'm gonna stop at 7-Eleven and get some milk.
Okay, so we're back. Let's talk about you trying to build with a man, but that ain't work either. Let's talk about the financial investments. Cause y'all a show get with some dude and then call yourself put money in it, and you still ain't had no conversation about nothing, and then you expect some type of return on your so-called investment, but then nobody asked you to do that. Let's go there. This is what causes y'all to think that y'all are building men and not building with a man. There is a distinct difference. Building with a man is something that happens when there's a plan. That man has sat down with you at some point and he has laid out for you the plan. The agreement with this plan is that there be investment from both parties all around, which would include a monetary investment from you. But with a plan, see, ain't no problem with that, right? If a man lay out a plan and you're on board and you his woman and y'all are making it through, y'all a couple, y'all, this is the plan, hey, this is the next 5 years, what we gonna do, these are the goals, this is how we gonna get there, this is the process, this is, hey, and this is what I need to do, this is what I need you to do. That's a plan. That's a whole conversation. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a woman doing that because that's what we're supposed to be doing. Absolutely nothing wrong. Here's where y'all go wrong with this part. Nobody tells you no plan. The real issue here is that y'all are paying for men to be with you. Let's talk about the simping that women do. Because there's some female simps out here. And don't nobody want to talk about that, but we're going to talk about it today. Y'all take on, I'm paying for everything, because you paying that man to be there with you. Let's just call a thing. You paying him to be there with you. You paying him to put up with your chaos. You paying him to put up with your mouth. You paying him to put up with the fact that you're going to be masculine the whole time. You paying him to, pay you some attention. Be in the house. You paying this dude. And you get into doing that when the reality is, and you on a subconscious level, you understand it, but you will never let it come out your mouth. You will never admit to it in a million years. But you know that if you don't pay, he gone. You know that if you don't pay, he gone. If you don't be a paymaster, he out. Because under no other circumstances will he ever deal with you. You gotta pay. You gotta pay all the bills while he don't contribute nothing to the household. You gotta buy the car and pay the notes and pay the phone bills, and you gotta do that stuff. Because under any other normal circumstance, ain't no man with a plan that would just come through and give you 4 P's is gonna deal with you. He not gonna deal with you, sis. He don't want this. He doesn't want this with you. And a man that you paying for, the reason why he leave you and do better elsewhere, because number one, he never wanted you in the first place. He don't like you. And he's trying to figure out how to do better for himself and then find a woman that's not you, that's not doing the stuff you doing. He don't really want to be paid to be in a relationship because he's not happy. He not happy. And then when he move on, that's when you get mad. I did all this stuff and then he just left. I paid this and I paid that and I built him up and then he just left. You was gonna pay rent where you was anyway, wasn't you? And that was your car. You went and got that car. Them your notes. You buy him, gifts and this and that. That's what a paymaster do, ain't it? That's what a sugar mama do, ain't it? I thought that's what sugar mamas do. So why you mad? You went into that situation. Why you mad at it? You wanted to do this. You chose. Because you couldn't be the type of woman that a man comes to and says it's not even what's understood don't even need to be said. I'm coming into this relationship given the 4 P's already. I don't need none of this other stuff. You don't have to give me, quote unquote, the 4 P's. I'm giving them to you. Because that's the masculine portion of the relationship anyway. I already got leadership. I already got system, order, and structure. I don't need you to do this stuff. I just need you to follow if that's what you're going to do. And if you're not going to do that, I'm out anyway. He don't want to be paid. What you're lacking in understanding, a lot of y'all chicks, is y'all have been taught to try to get a man for what he's doing, how much money he got, what he can do for you, and you love the transaction. What you fail to understand is that men do not get into relationships for the transaction. They are actually looking to love and to be loved. The thing that they brainwash us that women want, women don't actually want. Especially under the lost value system, women don't want that. Women love the transaction. When you are grown up in the lost value system, you value the transaction. Everything he can do for you. It's actually the men that want love. They're going into relationships for the emotional part. Am I right or wrong? Somebody help me. The guys in the chat. Like, if I'm incorrect, let me know. The men want the love. The men want the respect and all of the things, all of the emotional, internal working parts of the relationship. When men are looking for wives and stuff like, he's not looking for the transaction because he's the one that's embodying that anyway. He's bringing the 4 P's. He don't need you to give them to him. That's why you will hear men say when they looking for wives and stuff like your money don't mean nothing. It's not that he's not going to incorporate it in. It's just that what he's trying to tell you is that I'm the 4 P's, not you. That's what I give. He's looking for women to be able to properly receive them and reciprocate her feminine energy for it. I don't know that a lot of people ready for that side of the conversation. This is going to be a 2-parter. Because I got like at least 5 more points that I'm not going to be able to get to. But women have been brainwashed underneath this lost value system on so many different levels. This is why I keep hammering certain things. Because we got to peel back so many layers. And then a lot of times we got to go back and re-peel those same layers. Because you put them back on. We told that if we put forth a monetary investment in a relationship that we're building him up. As a man, we're building the man. You're not. And what I'm trying to say is this is where y'all be getting jaded at. Because you call yourself doing the right things, but not for the right guy. Why is he not the right guy? Why do you end up in this situation? Because you don't understand femininity and womanhood, and you don't understand masculinity and manhood. You don't understand that stuff. No idea. Living in a fantasy world of what these things mean. Femininity, your womanhood. Y'all be so busy trying to define masculinity and manhood to men. You get mad because he's not living up to this fantasy world expectation of what men are supposed to do. When you don't know what men are supposed to do because you don't have a working example. And for those women who do, you ignoring it. Because let's not act like there are not women out here that come from 2-parent homes whose father was what had leadership and SOS, and they get out here and act like they was for the streets all along. Like they daddy just had them out in the street. And he didn't. He did everything he could to protect you from being for the streets. Thank you, Julius Brewster. And you went out there anyway. On some, I'm grown now, you don't tell me what to do type situation. Not understanding that even though you technically became an adult, your father still feel the responsibility to cover you because you have not been given away to a husband yet. So that's still his job as the man in your life to cover you. And y'all jump all the way up out his covering. And I done seen Muslim sisters do this too. Y'all not exempt either. It's another rant. Y'all do it too. That's the saddest thing. I do not understand that. Let me talk about y'all women that grew up with y'all daddy and still be out here trying to be for the street. That's an absolute shame. You had a daddy in the house doing what he's supposed to be doing, trying to take care of you, trying to take care of your mama, trying to cover y'all, and you jump all the way up out of his covering for what? So you can run around here and do the exact thing that he protected you from since you was a little girl. He did not want you running these streets. That's why he was strict with you. That's why he didn't let you hang out with this one and that one. And he was keeping an eye on you and all of that kind of stuff. You thought he was just being mean to you. That's the short-sightedness of a female. When the reality is, he was trying to protect you long enough to get you married to a man that was going to do that job for him. A man he could trust with his baby girl. And you jumped out here in the street and didn't even have to be. That's like a young man growing up with his 2-parent home and then jumping out here like he a gangbanger. Boy, boop, ain't nobody even put you in that situation. You trying to be in a situation. You're doing the same thing as a woman. Your parents, namely your father, gave you all the 4 P's you needed. Every tool you needed. He did his best to show you how a man treat a woman by treating your mama right. He trying to treat you right. He trying to show you what masculinity look like and all of this kind of stuff. And you took that for granted. I don't want to do it. Running your stupid mouth because you think you know something. Then you go jump out here behind your daddy back and hit up with a F-19. He talking slick and you don't know the difference. Because you're not under your father's covering. You're doing stuff behind his back. Because you know in your heart of hearts, you cannot present this guy to your daddy because your daddy do not approve. And you know full and well why he don't approve. He do not approve of this foolishness that you in. He do not approve of the way this guy is carrying himself and carrying you. And you jumped all the way out of his covering, behind that man's back, getting pregnant, running around, doing the exact thing that he spent all of this time, all this effort, trying to stop you from doing it. I'm really confused at y'all. It's one thing for girls that didn't have no father in the house and, you know, she don't know which way is up. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for her to get turned around, you know, and she done jumped out here because her mama was for the streets and, you know, she wasn't getting no covering from really nowhere. So she was just doing what she saw other people doing. Now, I'm not excusing hyena behavior, but I'm saying. And then you had a man covering you and you still jumped out there in the street. The disrespect is on 9,000. Y'all don't understand how disrespectful that is of your fathers. And it is straight up make these fathers sit back and think, am I a failure? Where did I go wrong with my daughter? Let's see. Let's go back down the timeline. I tried to put in the best school. I was here with her. I didn't abandon her. I gave everything I could give her. Whether I was rich, poor, middle class, whatever the case may have been, I did the best I could with her. Like I literally did the best I could with her. I talked with her. I talked to her about boys. I talked to her about school. I talked to her about being a woman. Listen, I tried to do all this stuff. I tried to warn her about the F-19 that don't want nothing from her but a little sex and he'll use her up. I warned her about it because I'm a man. And I know how men think. And I know when they thinking right and I know when they not thinking right. The fathers in the chat, am I speaking facts or not? And somebody support these facts. Thank you for the cash apps. You so scared you missing something out here in these streets. When your father have done everything that he has tried, that he's able to do. And then he got to sit back and watch his daughter jump right out there. Like, where did I go wrong? Why is she doing that? Didn't I warn her about this kind of guy? Didn't I warn her? Could have swore I had this conversation with her. And this is why sometimes your daddy kind of, he'll listen to you complain a little bit, depending on what kind of daddy you got. But after you done jumped up in the street a couple of times and got hit by F-19, he ain't really trying to hit. Yeah, well, hopefully, this one be good for you. Sometimes that's what your daddy will say. Oh, hopefully he good for you. He don't want to talk to him. He don't want to get him straight and all that kind of stuff because he don't approve of him. You already know. Ain't no getting him straight. Because if I had a real say in it, you wouldn't be talking to this dude. So don't try to gaslight your daddy and make him think he got some type of opinion or some type of sway with you when you gonna deal with the dude anyway, no matter what he say, because he already told you don't deal with no dude like that. And then you ran up here getting hurt and then don't cry to your mama. Because that's who undermined me. That's who you listen to anyway. Thank you again, Ruminant. So don't come crying to me. Cry to your mammy. Because after I had the conversation with you, I know you went in there and had another conversation with your mama. And then you went out, hey, girl, just do, what you feel is right. That's stupid stuff. When I'm telling you this is wrong. It ain't about do what you feel is right. I'm covering you. All your life I done protected you. Now you're 18, 19, 20. Now my word ain't nothing. Cry to your mama. I'm your daddy and I still love you. Ain't like I don't love you. But cry to your mama. I don't want nothing happen to you and stuff like that. And all of that. I still do my best to protect you. But I've been trying to protect you. And you don't want it. I done went all off the script. So you end up doing the so-called right thing for the wrong dude. Then you get hurt. Then after you get hurt, it's every man's fault in the world. Every man done did you dirty. And the only reason you able to share stories like that with your mama is because she did the same stupid stuff when she was your age. And instead of telling you, no, don't do that because I did that already. I made that mistake before I met your daddy. I was with another guy before I met your daddy. And I'm telling you, I wasted 5 years with that man. Doing stupid stuff. It wasn't until after I got out of the relationship, a couple years after that I realized it was stupid. And instead of warning you and saying, no, don't follow my footsteps. Don't follow your auntie footsteps. Don't do that. We already did that. She'll let you do it. You got to go through it. So you will know what you like and what you not going to accept. Foolishness. If your mama tell you that, know that she don't got no wisdom to give you. If you come to your mama and it's something in your heart that be like, I don't know if I should do it like this. And you try to go to your mama and be like, mama, I'm with this dude. This going on. That's going on. I just don't know. And, we all go through it. And you got to go through. If your mama tell you, you got to go through it too, I suggest you don't ask her nothing else like that. Because what that mean is she did it and she did the goofy and she wants you to do a goofy. So y'all can sit and talk about how bad men are. And when she talk about how bad men is, she talking about your daddy. Your mama shouldn't even be telling you no stuff like that. If you watch your mama undermine your daddy and you know your daddy a good daddy. I watched mine undermine my daddy. That's how I knew I can't do that. I cannot do that. She is undermining the mess out of this man. He just said no to that. He just said no. She went right over there and said yeah. And did it anyway. Now this is why they arguing. They arguing. Knew it was going to be an argument. This gonna be a part 2, y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if you want a part 2 tomorrow. Because I got like 5 more points. We did not even get to the solutions. I thought I was going to be able to go through these points. And I am not. Put a 1 in the chat if you need the part 2 to this. This got to be a second part. I got to talk about the rest of this. Because there are a lot of layers. There are a lot of layers. Because we didn't talk about the healing. Trying to fix men and you ain't and you broken. We ain't talk about that. The trauma bonding. We ain't talk about that. Running around here thinking you got a relationship and you trauma bonding with people. And then wonder why it ain't on work. So this is going to be a part 2. Good that okay, I saw a bunch of 1s. Okay. Part 2 coming up tomorrow. This is so many layers. But I know something that's so straightforward. This A game straightforward, y'all. Okay? This A game. Y'all better get this A game for the holidays. Y'all gonna need this A game for the holidays. Y'all wanna be on y'all A game? I know a bunch of y'all gotta work overtime to get this money for Christmas. Not Christmas, but Christmas. You gotta get this money for Christmas. Okay, so it's a lot of overtime. So y'all need your A game to do your overtime for Christmas. Okay? Thank you, C. Latimer. So if you want to be part of the A Game family, all you got to do is hit the link at the top of the chat, agameherbal.com, and you get a 10% discount using the code Kendra10. You can have this box of awesomeness, okay, delivered to you ASAP. All right. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming through, for your contributions, for your super chat, your cash apps, for your attention. And I want to thank my team, without which this channel does not happen. Okay? It don't exist without them. So thank them. Thank you. I'm going to wrap this up and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.